A stunning legal twist has rocked the Roloff world. Amy Roloff, the beloved matriarch of Little People, Big World, is now at the center of a lawsuit that could change everything. This isn't just about legal paperwork or court dates. This is about survival. The fallout has stretched far beyond the courtroom, plunging Amy into a financial storm so intense that she was forced to make one of the hardest decisions of her life, selling her cherished business, Little Kitchen. Fans are left asking in shock, how did it all come to this? And more importantly, what will this mean for Amy's future? Today, we're diving deep into the lawsuit that's shaking Amy Roloff's world to its core. We'll unravel the events that led to this financial and emotional crisis, the behind-the-scenes tensions that most fans never saw, and the heartbreaking moment Amy decided to part with her beloved Little Kitchen brand, a business she poured her heart, creativity, and identity into. But this isn't just Amy's fight. The ripple effects are being felt across the Roloff family, sparking debates among fans, fueling speculation about old feuds, and raising serious questions about the future of Little People, Big World. Was this the result of a simple misunderstanding, a business misstep, or something much more personal? From the courtroom drama to the private heartache, from whispers of betrayal to public outpourings of support, we'll unpack every layer of the story, revealing how one lawsuit has the power to change not only Amy's finances, but also her legacy. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen wasn't just a business, it was a personal passion project born from her love of cooking and the desire to share that joy with others. After years of starring on Little People, Big World, Amy had built a deep connection with fans who loved seeing her in the kitchen, whipping up comforting recipes and homemade treats. When she launched Little Kitchen, she wasn't just selling products, she was offering a piece of her heart. The business featured seasonal baking mixes, kitchenware, and special holiday treats, many inspired by her own family traditions. For Amy, it was more than income. It was her creative outlet and a way to connect directly with her supporters beyond television. But behind the sweet brand and warm packaging, small cracks were beginning to form. It started subtly. A few online complaints about shipping delays during busy holiday seasons, minor disputes with suppliers over ingredient costs, and whispers about production challenges. At first, these were just the normal hiccups any small business faces. Amy, ever the optimist, brushed them off and kept moving forward. Yet those close to her say that she was quietly stressed, spending long hours trying to balance Little Kitchen, her commitments to the show, and her personal life with husband Chris MAREK. Then came the moment no one saw coming, the introduction of a lawsuit that would change everything. Filed by a former business partner and supply contractor, the legal complaint alleged breach of contract, unpaid invoices, and mismanagement of certain orders. The lawsuit also claimed that Amy's company failed to meet agreed-upon delivery deadlines, which allegedly cost the supplier significant revenue. While the allegations were only one side of the story, the mere existence of a legal battle put Little Kitchen under a cloud of uncertainty. The news first broke in a local Oregon business journal, then quickly spread across social media. Within hours, Little People, Big World fan pages were buzzing with speculation, shock, and, in some cases, heated debate. Some fans rushed to Amy's defense, insisting that this had to be a misunderstanding, while others wondered if the stress of running a growing business had finally caught up to her. Amy herself didn't stay silent for long. In a brief but heartfelt Instagram post, she acknowledged that there was a business matter being handled through legal channels. Without going into specifics, she expressed sadness over the situation, saying she had always tried to operate Little Kitchen with integrity and that she hoped for a fair and respectful resolution. It was a measured response, but her tone hinted at just how personal and painful this legal fight truly was for her. As the lawsuit moved forward, the situation quickly escalated from a behind-the-scenes dispute to a full-blown public legal battle. The timeline began with an initial hearing where Amy's legal team presented their first defense against the allegations. Lawyers for both sides came prepared with thick binders of evidence, emails, contracts, financial statements, each document carrying the potential to tilt the case in one direction or the other. Over the months, multiple court appearances followed, each one more tense than the last. For Amy, the courtroom was a far cry from the warm, homey kitchen where she built her business. Instead of baking cookies or filming heartfelt family moments, she found herself seated under harsh fluorescent lights, listening to lawyers dissect years of her hard work. Fans later learned that certain hearings became so emotionally charged that even the judge had to pause proceedings to restore order. The financial stakes were staggering. Reports began to surface that the plaintiff's claims involved hundreds of thousands of dollars, money that, if awarded against Amy, could devastate her savings. Legal fees alone were mounting, and while Amy had built a comfortable life from her years on Little People, Big World, ongoing litigation can drain even the healthiest of bank accounts. Behind the scenes, sources hinted that she was weighing the possibility of selling off parts of her beloved Little Kitchen brand just to keep up with the costs. But the toll wasn't just financial. Emotionally, Amy was being pulled in every direction. She was still filming for Little People, Big World, trying to keep her on-screen energy positive, all while privately navigating the most stressful chapter of her post-divorce life. On top of that, her marriage to MAREK was still in its relatively early years, and balancing her role as a wife with the constant strain of legal proceedings tested even her trademark resilience. Meanwhile, the online world was buzzing with speculation. Could Amy win this case? Would she be forced to settle? Was this a personal attack, or had she truly made a misstep in the business? Social media was filled with armchair legal analysts, some offering support, others casting doubt on her chances. Every new court date seemed to trigger a fresh wave of theories. The Little People Big World cast, for the most part, remained publicly silent. A few subtle signs of support emerged, like on one of Amy's Instagram posts here, a brief message of encouragement buried in a comment section there, but no one made any bold public statements. This led fans to wonder whether the silence was a show of respect for Amy's privacy, or a hint that even those closest to her were uncertain about the outcome. By the time the case reached its midway point, the pressure was undeniable. Amy was facing not just the possibility of losing a significant portion of her wealth, but the painful reality that her reputation, built over decades, could be permanently tarnished if she lost. The point of no return arrived when Amy Roloff, after exhausting every legal and financial avenue, had to make the most gut-wrenching decision of her career, to sell Little Kitchen. For Amy, this wasn't just about closing a business. It was about letting go of something that was deeply woven into her identity. She had built it from the ground up, pouring her heart, creativity, and personal touch into every recipe, every product, every customer interaction. The thought of handing over the keys felt like losing a part of herself. Friends close to Amy described those final days as some of the most difficult she had ever faced. Behind the scenes, negotiations for the sale were tense. The buyer, a mid-sized specialty food company, reportedly approached Amy with an offer that, while fair on paper, still didn't reflect the emotional value the business held for her. The terms included a complete transfer of branding, recipes, and even some of Amy's signature items that had become fan favorites. In short, it would no longer be hers in any way. Once the paperwork was signed, Amy's world felt quieter and emptier. The sale marked more than just the end of a business venture. It was the end of a chapter in which she had proven to herself and the world that she could stand independently after her divorce from Matt. Without Little Kitchen, she feared that a piece of her independence was slipping away. When Amy took to social media to announce the sale, the post was heartfelt and raw. She thanked her loyal customers, her small but dedicated team, and everyone who had believed in her vision. She shared photos of her very first pop-up event, her early kitchen experiments, and the countless moments of joy she experienced while running the business. But between the lines, fans could sense the pain. The public reaction was swift and passionate. Longtime supporters flooded the comments section with messages of love, encouragement, and outrage toward the lawsuit that had forced her hand. Many expressed sadness, while others openly admitted they feared for Amy's future, not only financially, but emotionally. For some fans, Little Kitchen wasn't just a business, it was a symbol of Amy's resilience after years of personal and public challenges. And now, that symbol was gone. In the weeks following the sale of Little Kitchen, Amy's financial reality shifted dramatically. While the proceeds from the sale may have offered her a temporary cushion, the loss of consistent business income created an undeniable gap. For years, Little Kitchen wasn't just a creative outlet, it was a reliable source of revenue, and now that stream has dried up. With production schedules for Little People, Big World becoming less predictable, Amy faces a future where she may have to rethink her financial strategy entirely. Fans have speculated that this moment could push her to either renegotiate her contract with TLC or pursue alternative opportunities outside the show. Her role on Little People, Big World could also evolve in unexpected ways. Without Little Kitchen as part of her storyline, producers may shift the narrative to focus more on her personal relationships, her marriage to MAREK, or her evolving role as a grandmother. While some believe this could make her presence on the show even more relatable, others worry it might reduce her businesswoman image, a trait that has long inspired her audience. Still, Amy's history has proven she's nothing if not resilient. The end of Little Kitchen may be the closing of one chapter, but it could also be the spark for something entirely new. Whether it's a new brand, a return to community events, or even a book sharing her personal recipes and life lessons, Amy has the creativity and drive to reinvent herself. Past setbacks in her life have often led to unexpected breakthroughs, and those closest to her say she's already brainstorming her next big thing. On the family front, the ordeal has shifted dynamics in subtle but telling ways. Some members have reportedly rallied around her, offering emotional support and encouragement, while others seem more distant, perhaps due to differences in opinion on how the situation was handled. The Roloff family has always had its share of internal divisions, but this latest event may have deepened certain rifts while strengthening bonds in other corners. Meanwhile, the public conversation hasn't died down. Social media remains divided between those who believe Amy was unfairly pressured into selling and those who argue it was simply a tough but necessary business decision. The debate reflects something bigger than just one woman's business. It's about the challenges small entrepreneurs face, the influence of legal pressures, and the complicated intersection between personal dreams and public scrutiny. The lawsuit that forced Amy to part with Little Kitchen marks a painful chapter in her journey, a story of passion, legal battles, and an unwilling farewell to something she poured her heart into. It's more than just the loss of a business. It's the closing of a door on years of dreams, effort, and personal identity. But if there's one thing Amy Roloff has proven time and again, it's resilience. Whether she rebuilds stronger than ever or chooses to carve out an entirely new path, her journey is still being written. Fans have stood by her through the highs and lows, and they'll continue to follow every step she takes from here, cheering her on no matter what comes next.